In the minds of many, the desert is a vast space of endless sand where there is nothing. In reality, at least there are animals, and some of them are very interesting. In this edition, you will meet the most unusual inhabitants of the Sahara that will surprise you. And if you feel that same spark of intrigue and passion to unearth more hidden truths, do not hesitate to subscribe to our channel. It's free and will take you on endless, fascinating adventures that will transform your perception of the world. Let's get started. Number 1. Fennec. This is the name given to this adorable, tiny fox that inhabits the plains of the central Sahara. Despite living in the desert, it does not forget about its food and consciously stays close to scattered bushes and shrubs that provide it with shelter and food. These conditions also protect the fennec from predators. As an additional protection, this charming little animal also digs underground tunnels through which it often moves from one place to another. Actually, the situation in the desert is quite comfortable for fennecs know who to expect danger from and live in groups of up to 10 individuals, each contributing to the common safety, which allows them to overcome even the most difficult times. Although, if I am honest, I think that this fox could live alone, as it is very agile and can jump very high. With a height of up to 20 centimeters and a body length of 40 centimeters, this beautiful animal can jump up to 70 centimeters. Moreover, even when it goes hunting and appears to be in open country, the fennec feels protected thanks to its excellent sandy coloration that blends in with the surroundings. The smallest representative of canids does not care much about heat and not about water or vegetation near which it lives. It is all due to its wonderful ears, which can reach 15 centimeters in length and whose main function is to cool the body on hot days. Thanks to the special structure of its paws, the fennec does not care about hot sand. One thing that has taken a back seat in its life is water. Although it is essential for its life, as there is little of it in the deserts, the fennec has learned to conserve moisture in its body for a long time. Number 2. Dune cat. The species of these adorable animals was discovered in 1858 in Algeria. Later, dune cats were rediscovered by zoologists from different countries in places far removed from the original discovery. Most of the time, people thought they had discovered something new, and only after a while they realized that it was a common subspecies of the dune cat and not something unique. The cat's body length varies from 60 to 90 centimeters, of which about 40% is its tail. At the withers, the little one reaches only 30 centimeters and rarely weighs more than 2.5 kilograms. With such dimensions, one would think that it should seek shelter in the bushes, hide, and not make noise, but this is not the case. The little one chose an extreme life path, living in the Sahara. The universe rewards self-confident creatures, and the dune cat was no exception. For its safety, nature provided it with all the necessary tools for a comfortable life in a hellish climate. Their thick fur protects them from extreme temperature changes, and their coloring allows them to blend into the desert landscape. The pads of their paws are covered with hair, protecting their delicate skin from the burning sand. Their ears are large but set low, which protects them from the sand. Their claws are not sharp, but blunt. These cats often dig burrows in the sand, so having something resembling shovels on their fingers is useful for them. Unlike the fennec, dune cats do not group together, not even in small groups. They are active at night and do everything alone. This makes them feel more at ease about their own invisibility, as they only care about themselves. Moreover, in search of food, the cat can run up to 10 kilometers. Why would it need someone who could theoretically get tired or simply fall behind? The cat's diet includes mice, gerbils, lizards, spiders, snakes, birds, and their eggs. By the way, this sandy inhabitant can go several weeks without water, obtaining moisture exclusively from the prey it hunts. Number 3. Northwest African cheetah. Yes, you heard right. Cheetahs also live in deserts. Amazing, right? It turns out that alongside these majestic and dangerous predators, small and adorable foxes or cats manage to survive. Although in the case of this cheetah, I don't even know who to worry about more, the fennec or the predator, as it is on the verge of extinction. There are fewer and fewer individuals. In 2008, it was estimated that there were fewer than 250 specimens of this subspecies left. Of course, no one confused this cheetah with its congeners or vice versa. The Northwest African cheetah is distinguished by its short, almost white coat, with spots ranging from black on the spine to light brown on the legs. There are few or no spots on the face. Like most creatures that live in deserts, cheetahs are active at night. They are not stupid to run around in the scorching sun at over 40 degrees. The main prey of the northwestern African cheetah are antelopes adapted to the dry environment. But on the other hand, our cheetah does not disdain a good rabbit. As it adapts to the conditions, the cheetah has learned to go for a long time without water, obtaining liquid from the blood of its prey. Number 4. Silver ants of the Sahara. If you think that these creatures follow the path of least resistance and are only active at night, you are wrong. They have come up with their own survival strategy that allows them to maintain their population and get everything they need for a happy existence. To begin with, Saharan silver ants are active during the day, in the heat. They do this not out of stupidity, of course, but because at that time the competition in the desert is minimal. No predators are hunting or strolling through the sand, which means that no one bothers them. This way, Saharan ants can find food and bring it home. However, in this matter, the main thing is not to linger. No matter how hard they try, the temperature around is simply abnormal, so ants are used to spending no more than 10 minutes on a walk. If they stay in the heat longer, they will suffer from heat stroke. But how do they manage to stay at least those 10 minutes? What do they do to achieve this? In reality, ants have many tricks, and all of them are extremely useful. For example, before leaving their nest, they produce special proteins that allow them to withstand high temperatures of up to 53.6 degrees Celsius for a time. These proteins are called heat shock proteins and help maintain cell structure in extreme temperatures. If in other living beings these proteins are produced only after they are already suffering from the heat, these ants have learned to generate them beforehand. Before they go out into the scorching sun, the second coat that helps them survive in such harsh conditions is their silvery hairs that cover the upper part of their body. These hairs reflect radiation well in the visible and infrared ranges and work as a cooling radiator, reflecting a little over 90% of the light that hits them. Oh yes, I almost forgot, these ants also run very fast. It is not for nothing that they belong to the genus of running ants, and their speed is one of the highest in the world. If we judge by the ratio of distance to body length, they can cover 85 centimeters per second, which is more than 100 times their body length. It is understandable why they are so fast, since in 10 minutes they need to collect enough food to feed the entire colony. Number 5. Sand monster. However, not all creatures of the Sahara are peaceful and known to science. There are a number of beings about which legends circulate. If someone meets them in person, they do not return home. One of them is this sand monster, a giant snake from the Sahara that has become a kind of local god for the tribes. Locals say they have seen it many times, and supposedly the snake can swallow a camel whole. Interestingly, it is not a representative of the classic, well-known species. It is distinguished by its strange tuft on its head, which is believed to be where its venom resides. The snake uses this venom not only to defend itself, but also to attack, paralyzing its prey in a matter of seconds. It is impossible to hide from this, as the venom is so potent. Number 6. Azd is a mythological creature described as a woman with wings and a long, sharp, sting-like tail. She is considered to be a bird or vampire that can take the form of a girl to attract her victims. The only thing this monster is interested in is a portion of fresh blood, either from humans or animals. Azd goes out to hunt at night and is supposed to be able to attack from the sky, leaving bites that cause deep wounds. Some believe that she can also steal the souls of her victims. The most interesting thing is that, after a while, the attacked people become sorcerers who remain conscious, but will be loyal to Azd and do everything she asks. Now let's move on from land creatures to aquatic ones, the most dangerous river monsters on the planet. Number 7. Tigerfish, with 32 sharp teeth, each of which looks like a fang, a length of about 1.5 meters, a weight of about 50 kilos, ferocity, aggression, and a constant bad mood. This is a nuclear combination of a real monster. The tigerfish has all this. It is one of the most famous and dangerous freshwater monsters in the world. The tigerfish is a real predator that has no mercy for its prey. It is omnivorous, so everything falls into its mouth, from plants and fish to birds and even small mammals. There have even been documented cases of tigerfish attacks on crocodiles. These monsters usually hunt in schools, so an army of these terrifying teeth can take down anything, including humans. There are many known cases of tigerfish attacks on people, many of which ended tragically. For me, this is an excellent reason to never get into the African Congo River, where tigerfish are mainly found. Number 8. Bull shark. We don't expect to see sharks in rivers, as these monsters roam the seas and oceans. But this is not the case with the bull shark. These predators, considered the most dangerous and aggressive among all sharks in the world, often enter freshwater rivers, swimming long distances upstream. They feel so comfortable in freshwater that entire populations of these sharks exist in some rivers. For example, several hundred of these monsters live in the Brisbane River in Australia. They are also found on other continents, in America, Asia, and Africa. In Africa, these ferocious creatures are not afraid to attack even hippos. Theoretically, bull sharks can live in a river or lake all their lives, but they prefer to breed in saltwater. Number 9. Bulgaria's every culture has its own legends about terrifying creatures. In India, there is one legend that turned out to be true. The main character is the Bulgarius or Gunch, a local variety of catfish known for its ferocity and cruelty. It is believed that they reach 3 meters in length and weigh about 150 kilograms. The Gunch devours everything, even people. Since the 1990s, several cases of Gunch attacks on locals have been recorded. It is believed that the local inhabitants themselves are responsible for the creation of these monsters. According to one version, the Gunch's taste for human flesh developed due to an ancient Indian custom. After cremations, locals throw the remains of the dead into the rivers, and over time, the river dwellers liked this new diet, and now they eat not only remains, but also living people. Number 10. Olive catfish. Catfish in general can surprise in many ways. They are often portrayed as rather harmless creatures with funny whiskers. But there is little funny about catfish. At least the olive catfish, the next protagonist of this collection, causes horror and tears, not smiles. These fish inhabit the rivers of North America. They are quite large, with a body length that can reach 4 meters and a weight of up to 400 kilograms. Although smaller specimens are usually found, the main thing about these catfish is not their size, but their teeth and jaws. Olive catfish have trained them by eating dead creatures. These animals terrify river inhabitants and also attack waterfowl, small domestic animals, and even people. If a person falls into the powerful jaws of this fish, he has practically no chance of getting away unharmed. At the very least, he will be injured, and at the most, he will become a victim. In North America, there have been reports of strange disappearances of swimmers and fishermen, and locals believe it is the fault of cannibalistic olive catfish. Number 11. The Muskellunge. This animal can reach 180 centimeters in length and weigh around 30 kilos. Like all pikes, the muskellunge has terrifying teeth that do their job with ease and get rid of their prey excellently. The majority of the muskellunge's diet consists of fish, but it can also include crabs, frogs, ducklings, snakes, mice, birds, and other small animals. Muskellunge bites can cause serious injuries to humans. In addition, the muskellunge does not just bite preemptively or defensively, but often tries to drag its prey to the bottom. There have been several recorded cases of attacks by these fish on humans, but so far, no deaths have been reported. Let's hope it stays that way. Number 12. Anaconda. This infamous monster is responsible for the death of some people, according to rumors. The giant anaconda is said to have killed several people. Rumors aside, there is no doubt that anacondas attack humans, and this really happens. However, it cannot be said that the anaconda is extremely dangerous for humans, but it is a real monster for all animals of South America. The anaconda is the heaviest snake in the world, weighing tens of kilos. Some specimens can weigh more than 100 kilograms. Add to this its enormous length and incredible constriction force, with which it literally crushes its opponents, and you get an extremely dangerous animal. Everyone who finds themselves in the wrong place and at the wrong time runs the risk of becoming a victim of this huge snake. Among the prey of the anaconda are capybaras, iguanas, and even caimans. Only powerful jaguars and brave otters can compete with the anaconda. Number 13. Payara, South America is also famous for other river monsters, and the payara is one of them. This monster is also known as the vampire piranha. No, the payara does not come out of its lair at night to bite the necks of jaguars and monkeys, nor does it fly with wings to drink the blood of its victims. It is called so because of its terrifying teeth. They are so large and sharp that they do not fit into its jaw. But nature has foreseen everything. In the upper jaw, there are special holes that allow the two longest fangs, located in the lower jaw, not to pierce the upper jaw. It is believed that in South America, piranhas are the most dangerous fish, but this is not the case. The payara eats piranhas as if they were seeds. In fact, the payara hunts practically all those that are smaller than it. Payaras also attack humans, but this does not happen very often. Number 14. Giant freshwater stingray. Just like catfish, rays are not as simple as they seem. For example, in animated films, they are often depicted as gentle creatures. Remember the stingray in Finding Nemo, which took fish to school and sang songs to them. But many rays are real monsters, and the giant freshwater stingray is proof of that. This colossus can reach almost 2 meters in width and weigh 600 kilograms. It inhabits the large rivers of Southeast Asia, and other river inhabitants probably see it as a flying saucer due to its size. These flat monsters feed on crustaceans and mollusks, which they detect with their receptors. If necessary, rays can defend themselves even from large predators. They have a long, poisonous stinger that can easily pierce not only skin, but also human bones. In addition, the giant freshwater stingray can overturn boats of annoying people who stay too long in its habitat. It's not as scary as a tigerfish, let alone a shark, but the freshwater stingray is still very dangerous, and it's best to stay away from it. Number 15. Cladosalash. What monsters inhabited rivers and seas millions of years ago? Read on to find out. The first shark-like creatures appeared about 450 million years ago, but the oldest evidence of sharks' existence is about 400 million years old. Thus, the Cladosalach is one of the first sharks in history, and also one of the scariest. This shark was distinguished by its intimidating face, powerful jaws, and sharp teeth. It also had a slim, streamlined body, which means that the Cladosalach moved quickly. The shark's upper jaw was attached to the skull both at the front and at the back, not just at the rear, so unlike modern sharks, the Cladosalach could not open its mouth wide. But this only gave it an even more terrifying appearance, complemented by the almost complete absence of scales on the body. Given the incredible age of the shark, scientists cannot fully describe it, but it seems that the Cladosalach was a very formidable predator in its time. Number 16. Tychodus. Next up, we have Tychodus, or simply Tychodus, a large prehistoric shark that grew to almost 15 meters in length, which is about the size of today's whale sharks, the largest of all modern sharks. However, unlike them, the fearsome Tychodus were predators. The animal's jaw contained a large number of teeth, which could number up to 550. Thanks to these teeth, Tychodus could easily break through the shells and exoskeleton of mollusks and crustaceans. Don't think that they were little crabs, they were true giants. Look at this fossil. Such large creatures ended up in the teeth of the fearsome Tychodus. The northern hemisphere did not have a good time, as Tychodus swam there. In fact, in their time, they were the largest fish in their habitat. Number 18. Helicoprion is considered one of the strangest, most unusual and terrifying creatures of all time. One look at this creature is enough to understand why. These fish were not sharks in the modern sense of the word, but representatives of primitive cartilaginous fish, close to the ancestors of chimeras and sharks. But the most important thing is its jaw, which is noticeably different from those of other sharks and marine animals. Visually, it looks like a circular saw, and in fact, it worked like one. Scientists have modeled the operating principle of the helicoprion jaw, which was named the dental spiral. They believe that during hunting, Helicoprion caught its prey, closed its mouth, and rotated the spiral to crush the prey. After passing through this sharp disc, the victim had no chance of escape. Helicoprion inhabited our planet approximately 240 million years ago, and in its time was undoubtedly one of the most dangerous animals in the world. Number 19. Cretoxyrhina. Often compared to the modern great white shark, Cretoxyrhina was even larger, reaching 8 meters in length and weighing more than 3 tons. Like the great white shark, Cretoxyrhina was one of the top predators in the ocean. These monsters did not hesitate to attack such dangerous creatures as mosasaurs, as evidenced by the findings of scientists who found shark bite marks on the bones of small mosasaurs. The hunt was usually successful, as the strong and smooth teeth of these sharks allowed them to easily kill and dismember relatively large animals, and many prey were swallowed whole. Scientists believe that Cretoxyrhina attacked its prey at high speed so that the blows would be as powerful and effective as possible. However, Cretoxyrhina also became victims, as mosasaurs avenged their fellows. The extinction of Cretoxyrhina is often explained by the rise of the large mosasaurs. Number 20. Goblin shark. Many of you have probably heard of it. This unusual shark is known as a living fossil. It is believed that the first goblin sharks appeared on our planet 125 million years ago. These sharks have survived a lot and have survived to this day. The goblin shark is one of the scariest sharks of all time, not only among its prehistoric relatives. It has a snout with a long protrusion, jaws that can extend very far, a pink coloration through which some blood vessels can be seen, and more. No matter how you look at it, this creature cannot be called beautiful. Fortunately for us, finding a goblin shark in the wild is almost impossible. It lives at depths of 200 meters, hunts in the dark for squid, fish, and crabs, and has no intention of coming up to the surface. This is bad news for scientists, as they cannot properly study this relic species, so the goblin shark remains poorly understood. Number 21. Edestus. Remember Helicoprion with its saw-like jaw? Well, it's not the only animal like that. Meet Edestus, which could be called the great-great-grandfather of Helicoprion. You see why. This terrifying creature had an equally terrifying jaw. But while Helicoprion had a circular saw in its mouth, Edestus had something resembling serrated scissors. That's why it's sometimes called a scissorfish. It's still not known exactly how it used its scissors. According to one version, the jaws worked like regular scissors, cutting through the victim. According to another version, the shark rammed into the side of a large animal and used its jaws to tear the flesh like a serrated battering ram. This approach could kill the prey almost instantly, allowing Edestus to eat in peace. What do you think? How do you think Edestus used its scissor jaws? Share your thoughts in the comments. Number 22. Xenacanthus. Next up, probably the nastiest shark you can imagine. The prehistoric Xenacanthus was small, reaching only 1 meter in length. It had an elongated body and looked more like a modern eel than a shark. At the same time, it had a scary snout and a hideous mouth. These were the eyes that the prey saw when the Xenacanthus lunged at it. Apparently, its prey was small fish. An interesting and distinctive feature of the Xenacanthus was a spine that grew from the back of its head. It is assumed that it was not used for attacking, but for defense against large predators. Scientists believe that the spine was poisonous and eliminated predators that attacked the Xenacanthus. The spines of modern rays are similar. Number 23. Stethocanthus. Next up, a shark with a curious name. Despite this, some scientists believe that certain individuals grew up to 2 meters. Like the Xenacanthus, the Stethocanthus had a distinctive feature on its back, an unusual dorsal fin. Due to the peculiar shape of its dorsal fin, the Stethocanthus seems to have used it to attract females. This theory seems to be true, as only males had these fins. Squatina. The following sharks differ from many of their prehistoric and modern relatives, at least in that Squatina were scavengers. This inclination earned them the common name crow sharks. In general, Squatina were rather large and, of course, terrifying sharks. They grew up to 2.5 meters in length. Externally, they resembled modern gray sharks, but the shape of their teeth was reminiscent of tiger sharks, which, by the way, are considered one of the most dangerous modern sharks. Number 24. Megalodon. I've told you about 9 prehistoric sharks, but it seems that someone is missing. Do you think so too? Well, I've left the most famous prehistoric sea monster for last, and of course, it's the Megalodon. It would be wrong not to mention this shark, which is the scariest, strongest, and largest of all sharks in history. These giants grew up to 15, 20 meters and weighed up to 50 tons. Although scientists continue to find fossils and estimate that some megalodons were even heavier and longer, these sharks hunted mercilessly and could kill any creature in the ocean, including pinnipeds, sirenians, and even whales. Not so long ago, scientists concluded that the megalodon could swallow even a modern killer whale, the main predator of the ocean today. By the way, the largest shark of all time became extinct millions of years ago, but who knows, maybe somewhere in the Pacific or Atlantic Ocean some megalodons still swim. After all, if the goblin shark has survived to this day, the megalodons might have too. And with this, we come to the end. Which of these animals surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe for more amazing stories like this one. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.